See if that's any better. Certainly hope that it is. So the principles of standing are to have toes pointing forward, right? Feet at least hip distance apart, certainly wider if you're interested in just like building lower body strength. And so that's worth mentioning. And our attention is going to be largely flowing up and down in the body. And we get the mechanics of our structure set first. And around that, we're going to create some movement. But one of the distinguishing things about Tai Chi and Qigong, because we're practicing elements from both, is that the mind is very involved and so are the hands. So that's a little bit different. You know, in yoga, we have our hands just to create postures. But here, we're in a different relationship with our hands. Our hands are like energy magnets, and we are considering the possibility that we are moving through an ocean of energy, and we are collecting it, gathering it, we're moving it to different parts of the body, and that requires the mind's attention to really be in the body in order to fully maximize that. You can certainly benefit just from fluid motion, but really the juice of it is to have your mind, your imagination invoked as well. So Wu Ji is a standing posture. Wu Ji means the emptiness, like primordial emptiness from which things arise. So we're going to keep returning to the standing pose that is as relaxed as possible, like without falling over. And so with that little bit of a bend in the knees, we think about the tailbone sinking down slightly, the spine lengthening, the chin tucking in just a little bit. Shoulders are relaxed and your arms are by your side, and just give them a little wiggle, and then put a little space between the sides of your body and your arms. And they're just kind of right out here. So it is a stance that might look like it's got a quality of readiness to it. And that's the pose that we'll return to over and over again. Because we move, and then we stop, and we sense, and we feel, and we move some more. Good morning, Chris. And we're going to start with a little standing meditation. So the image of the lotus has been coming to my mind quite a bit lately. And so this is the lotus blooms, a standing meditation. So rooting in the mud and rising toward the light. So let us begin by arriving, feet grounded beneath us, spine rising gently with dignity, and bring your awareness to the earth. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and picture a lotus. Its journey begins in the mud, thick, dark, dense. There, its roots find what they need to anchor and grow. Without the mud, there is no blossom. And in the stillness beneath the water, the lotus sends up a tender shoot. It reaches patiently, instinctively toward the surface, toward the light, toward breath, and toward possibility. And when it breaks through, it opens into beauty, radiant, unsoiled by the mud below. So you are the lotus, rooted in the earth, nourished by life's challenges, rising through practice and opening to your fullest expression. And now tracing the path from earth to sky. So gently begin a slow flowing body tracing, letting your hands hover down toward the ground, just slightly away from the skin, not quite touching, as if you're running your fingers through water. Starting at our feet with roots in the earth, trace up the ankles, the shins. As you start to rise, the knees, feel the strength of your legs, the foundation that holds you. Continue up the thighs, hips, belly, the home of the breath, center of your being. Trace along the sides, sweeping up past the rib cage, rising through your heart, that place of compassion and courage. You feel your hands move all the way up to the space overhead, as if you are the lotus blossoming open to the sky. And just hold this shape for a moment. You're rooted below and blooming above. And then gently lower your hands back down to your sides like petals returning back down to the stillness. Now we'll do this inner tracing in the stillness, just with the mind as the guide instead of the hands. So as we enter this ability to stand quietly, let the body be soft and upright and alert. And this time, trace the same path with your mind alone. Begin again at your feet. Feel into the soles, the connection to the earth. Travel upward with your awareness slowly and steadily. Knees, thighs, hips. Feel the power and presence of each region as you guide your mind's eye upward. Let your attention move up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you reach the crown of your head. And sense yourself fully rooted and rising, connected to earth and open to sky. Your mind is the garden, your body is the lotus. And in the standing stillness, sense the quiet power of the mind-body connection. And how you are not separate from nature. You are nature expressing itself. So just breathe here, be here. A quote from great Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh, awareness of the body. Awareness brings us back to ourselves. And when we are fully mindful of our body and living in the here and now, we are in our true home. So as you float the eyes open, how much can we take in from our current surroundings? How engaged can we be with this moment through all of our senses? So eyes are relaxed and open. We're starting to calm down where we can hear more than just the chatter of the mind. We can hear the sounds of nature around us. Our body is starting to relax, so our skin can soften and we can really feel the temperature, the breeze. The breath is deep, so any sense of the morning nature we can smell. So I'm going to start with a little harmonizing yin and yang. So yin is considered earth element, ground, like the mud, and then sky, yang energy is considered to be very strong and bright. So we're going to start into this gesture of balance. So let's gather yin energy up from the earth, tracing it up through our feet into our legs, pausing at the mid-center, and then reaching up overhead and drawing down sky energy through the crown of the head, washing down. So we're creating balance, but we're also starting this cleansing process. So that's the flow in Qigong and Tai Chi. It's very focused on being fluid and gentle. We're not trying to build strength necessarily. That might be a byproduct, but we are tapping into the healing energy of the universe and within ourselves to create longevity and well-being, balance, calm, rooted, resourced. So you can just start to make this flow your own. Open to receive what you need in the form of the non-physical, inspiration and connection. And then open to receive what you need literally into your body for the health and well-being of the cells of your body. And along with the movement, I encourage you to integrate your breathing. It might make sense for you to inhale as you're in a gathering gesture. Exhale as you're kind of receiving and taking in. So the flow continues. Make sure that you stay as relaxed as possible. So we're here to accumulate energy, accumulate more than we spend. So generally we're working at about a 70% capacity. So we're not dialed up to 100. 70% effort. Washing down if you're taking a chi shower. A couple more rounds like that. Grow slowly enough that you really feel your hands soft passing through the air, space between your fingers. It's like you've got these chi attracting gloves on. Allow the breath to continue to sink down into your belly. A gentle smile is considered part of this practice as well, as a form of facial relaxation, but also just to awaken some heart energy with a gentle smile. Moving with intention as opposed to force. Really nice antidote for some of the other ways that we move our bodies. One more time. It's all from the vitality method of medical Qigong. Bring your hands right down by your side. Pause back to Wuji. Place of emptiness, balance, support. Feet continue to sink. The crown rises. And then shake the tree. You start with the hands going first. Right, so we kind of connected with the fluidity and the way that our breath and our movement can match up. And now we're going to do a few purging exercises. So this could be just shaking off stress, tension, overwhelm, fear. Also can be shaking off anyone, if you're with someone who's struggling, you might naturally have taken on some of their energy in the midst of your compassion. And this time is for you now, so you can shake off anything that has stuck to you from someone else. And then you just want to let this become a full body shaking, kind of starting with the hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, everything as jiggly and possible, bouncing into the knees. This is one of the, literally just shake it off. This is one of the quickest ways to shift your focus, shift your energy in the course of any day, between clients, between meetings. Make sure if you're up for it to bounce into the heels and feel how you're just sending a whole vibration, since our bodies are largely water, right? So this is a ripple effect, and also cleanses the joints where toxins tend to pool. But give it another moment or two. Try to be as loose as possible. That is one of the principles, is loose, open, and rounded with our arms. And slow it down. Only close your eyes if you don't think you'll fall over. And just feel the buzz. Feel the way that you've just shaken up all the cells in the body, and now they're all a little more excited and you can experience it. So stand as the witness in the emptiness, sensing what's happening in the body. For action, the complement is rest. So that's why we toggle back and forth between action and rest. And step your feet a little bit wider if you would. Remember, sink the feet, soften the knees, allow your tailbone to just drop just so slightly, like you're going to sit on a very high stool. Tuck your chin in, draw the base of the skull upward, feel the width across your chest, arms really easy, gaze just relaxed and forward. And start to turn from the waist. For now, try to keep your knees pointing forward, and there's a visual of holding a large inflated beach ball between your knees. So your knees are pointed forward for now. We're really twisting from the waist, ribs, chest, and the arms are following along. So we're twisting around the center channel of the body, or the Tai Chi pole that runs from the tailbone to the crown. And then we're just going to relax into this. If this is feeling good, you can go a little bit harder, twist a little bit more. If your knees are healthy, then we're not concerned about the knees turning side to side. But if you're protecting tender knees, be mindful of that. And then start to let your hands come against your body. So this is on purpose. We're swinging around, and we want the hands to knock on the body. Okay. And so we're starting kind of down low. You'll be around the back of the waist, maybe the front of the waist. You can turn your head as well if it's going to feel good. So we're lubricating the spine. We're starting to circulate energy further, bring some flexibility. Feel that your elbows bend, your hands tap, and this is knocking on the door of life. So on the low back, there's acupressure point called the Mingmen. That's considered to be the #1 point for vitality and hormone balance and whatnot. And it's in the low part of the back, right along the spine. So you're tapping, you're knocking on the door of life. And then we're going to use a few purging breaths. So we're largely breathing in and out through the nose, those long, slow, deep breaths. But purging exercises call for an exhale through an open mouth. Do that at least a couple of times. And it can be like a ha kind of exhale, or you're blowing out through a straw. Feel any way that your torso is starting to feel looser. You're going to come up halfway. So we've been down around the lower energy center, the lower dantian. Now we're going to come up to the middle. There's 3 energy centers in this practice: lower, middle, and upper. So middle dantian's around the heart and the ribs and the lungs. So we're up here tapping in the front of the chest and still on the low back. As we come around, tapping away tension, tapping away those places that are tight where energy doesn't flow as well. This kink in the hose. And then you're going to bring it up over the top of the shoulder. It's almost like you're going to pat yourself on the back. And you can look over that back shoulder if your neck likes that, or even down at the ground behind you when you twist around, if it feels good. Knocking on the door of life. We're going to slowly wind our way down the pole. Feel the whole thing start to just slow down until you come back to Wuji, standing posture. And at this time, the hand placement is just lightly turned toward the ground, so you can really stay connected with the earth force. Running that breath up and down the spine. Place some of your attention in your hands. Notice if you feel sensation. It's your chi. And imagine just drawing all these healing resources that are so freely given to us from the earth through the feet and the hands in this moment. I am healthy. I am present. I am strong. I am relaxed. I am engaged in my own self-healing. Bring the hands up. Another purging exercise is to tap on the crown of the head. So remember, the hands are really a big part of the practice. So we're going to tap on the top of the head. We're going to tap our way around most of the body parts. So intention is to release tension, to allow any places where the blood isn't flowing optimally to flow. So we're waking up the blood flow. You're tapping all around the skull, eventually finding your way to your forehead, over the top of your eyebrows. You'll just know how hard or soft to tap. Just follow your instinct. You're the temples, the cheekbones, down to the jaw. Lift your chin lightly. And come down the throat and into the upper chest. Benefiting all the glands, hormonal system in the body. Down a little further, across the mid-chest, out toward the collarbones. Now I'm going to take the left hand and now turn into more of a smooth palm, or a little bit of cup. Come onto the top of your right shoulder. Your right arm is just falling nice and easily toward the ground with your palm turned up. And you're going to cup down. So I'm mirroring So you can just follow my gestures that way. Right palm, turn it over, up the top, outside, over the top of the shoulder, and one more time down that arm. Roll your right palm up, come down. Just feel the way that you're engaging with your own body. As opposed to having a practitioner doing things for you, you're engaged in your self-healing right now. Coming across the chest, switching arms. Cupping over the left shoulder as the left arm hangs, right down the inseam. Another round down. Back to the chest when you're done. And I'm going to come down through the chest area, ribs, sides of the trunk, tapping into the organs, coming around the sides of the waist, and looking down and tapping the low back, the area that kidneys consider to be very important in this practice for vitality. Give your kidneys a little rub, low back a little rub, and then tap down the outside of your hips. Nice broad palms, all the way down the outside of the legs, across the top of the feet, inseam of the legs, into the groin. And we're gonna just tap here for a little bit. Re-soften those knees. And with the tailbone sinking and the knees soft, the front of the hips tend to feel a little more open. But we're gonna just seal up that energy before we continue into other flows. So please take your arms all the way out and up. Come down, now kind of sealing in the energy or any remaining leaks in our energy field. Palms on the top of the head. Smooth your hands down around the back of your skull to the base of your neck, around the sides of your neck. And you can just lightly touch the body. You could just potentially hover over the body if you wanted to. Down the front, around the ribs, along the back, into the lower back, smoothing down the outside of the legs, over the tops of your feet, off the inseam of the legs, right to the lower dantian. And just hold your palms right here. Relax back into Wu Ji. Allow yourself to be still. Your energy bank account right here, lower dantian. All this breath and movement and intention. We're building our vitality bank account, our power center. And slide your hands over onto your hips. I'm going to start to hip circle. We're going to make spirals. We're going to start small. And just valuing that quality of subtleness. The way that you're shifting your weight through different parts of your feet. And then you can start to make the hip circles as large as you feel good for you. Make sure that you stay as relaxed with your head and neck as possible, so your head is welcome to shift around. And then I'm going to spiral back to center. Find that still point for a breath. In the other way. Start to spiral small circles in the opposite direction. Just like you were using a stick in the sand and making a really beautiful spiral pattern that goes from smaller to larger. That's what we're doing with our hips. See if you can avoid the tendency to lock the knees. When we do that, we restrict, funny enough, we restrict the flow of blood, and we also lose the suppleness of the legs and the muscular engagement, and we want all of our leg muscles to get some action. Nice. And then we're going to spiral back to center. Pause into stillness. And this time, release your hands. So back to Wu Ji, but Bao Qi is the hand position right here, like you're holding this cup of treasure right in front of your lower abdomen. Find that posture that feels balanced, sustainable. Standing meditation. You can keep the hands here. It's a little easier on the shoulders, where it's classically done with the hands out in front of the chest, making this very gentle, rounded position. So we'll see. You can do this standing meditation. And just check in that you're not over efforting. You're not spending 1 ounce more energy than necessary, so you can build and accumulate energy. Now, slide your fingers, interlace them. Turn your palms to face forward. Hollow out your chest, look down, press your palms forward. You're opening the upper and mid back. Root into your feet, inhale, pressing up, holding up the heavens. A couple times like that. Come back down, widen out your elbows. You want to be comfortable, particularly trying to loosen the back of the spine. Press into your feet, root, inhale, holding up the heavens. One more time, bring it down, rounded. This time, turn your palm to face you, remain interlaced. We're gonna start to circle this like ball that we're holding with our arms. And I do suggest that you make small circles, first. Keep your tailbone sinking so your low back has some length to it. If you've got concerns about the health of your low back, you can make these circles small. If that's not a concern, you can explore it a little further, noticing how important it is to stay rooted into both feet whenever you're tilted over toward one side. And then once you kind of get the pattern, just ask yourself, how can I make this easier? I think that's actually a good question to ask ourselves no matter what we're doing. A lot of us tend to make things a little more complicated or difficult than they need to be. And eventually you're going to circle the other way. Head is rolling around also. See that you've got your lips together so you can breathe in and out through your nose, but your teeth are not clenched. There's some space between your teeth, so your jaw's relaxed. And then when you come back up, just release. Bring your hands, your elbows out by your side. And if your shoulders get cranky, remember, you can do just lower body movement for a little bit or give things a shake out. So I'm going to come into spinal cord breathing, which is lymph pumping. So I'd like you to take your elbows somewhere around your shoulder height. It's a standing back bend with a sense of the knees pointing forward, remember. But lean it back, take a breath in, and then make fists round forward. Bring your elbows toward each other, or even touch your elbows, look down, round your back. So that's the flow. It's a cleansing flow. It's a pumping flow. It's got a little energy to it. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, squeeze, round. Right? Tuck your tailbone underneath, engage your glutes. And then find a flow like that that works for you. Just consider how you might take the breath in a little fuller each time, really letting your lungs expand. It's got a purging quality to it. So if you want to have a few exhales through an open mouth, you might find that a good therapy. Let's say twice more. Draw your navel in, help open up your low back. And this time when you're clenched, we'll meet up right here. And then we're going to transition down into a nice draping forward fold, like a fallen willow tree. Feel free to reset your feet a little bit if you'd like and sway from side to side. You can have your hands on your thighs, or you could bend your knees enough so that your hands can touch the ground if you find that appealing. I do. Sway side to side. If you tend toward a tight neck, give your head a shake. Slow, deep breaths in and out. gonna roll ourselves back up to Uji. Standing meditation posture. Feel your body stack, feel your feet sink. Soft bend in the knees. Tailbone and breath sinking down. Spine gently lengthening with the chin drawn slightly in, so the interior of the skull is lifting upward. And here you are existing along this Tai Chi pole between heaven and earth. You're a conduit between heaven and earth. Steady, grounded, connected to the moment. Fully present, fully alive. Let's draw here the hands up and press them out. And find any extension that works for you for a little neck stretch, side bending, and then we'll start our Tai Chi flow. So there's some energy coming out through the palms toward the ground, and you're going to tilt your head to the left. And take a moment. If this arm position is just too much action, you could drape your arms by your side. That would be fine. Or you could come up higher if you wanted. And take a moment here. Relax that left side of your neck. And then little like half circles just with your head to one side. So that could mean dipping your chin towards your left chest slightly and then rolling your head back a little bit. So you're within a little range of motion within this side bending neck stretch. So you're just going to know what's good for you. Let your chin fall forward for a moment. Just feel that neutral. And then to the other side, right ear to right shoulder. And then this little bit of movement here. It could almost be like nodding your head while tipping it to the right. Then the lines of energy from your chest out through your arms to your hands. Good. Drop the chin back over the chest. Bring your head back up to vertical, side bending, dipping your left fingertips down towards your left ankle. And then we're going to go from side to side. So a bend in the knee is helpful because it'll lengthen the low back. So we really want to stretch in a side to side fashion. Descending tailbone. And then you're going to follow your instinct, flowing from side to side, coming into a side bend that feels good for your body. Observing how you could stay equally rooted in both feet as you come from side to side. Opening up the sides of the joints of the spine. Next time we are all draped over to the right, we've got an opportunity to stay for a few breaths. You want to give that right arm a little dangle or a circle, like a little spiral with your right hand. Right shoulder's relaxed. You can let your left arm come across the body and turn your nose to look down towards your right foot if you want. Just feel your lower body structure support you. Slowly restack. As much relationship with that spine as you can. Pause, take a breath, other side. Allowing left fingertips to drape down toward left foot. Come to that point where it feels effective. You can cross your right arm over if you want, kind of ragdoll style. You can turn your head down towards your left foot and give that left arm a little spiral with the hand. Beautiful. And then press into your feet, restack. Nice. And bringing the feet back together, hands over your lower abdomen. So you weave the web of your thumbs together and then place your palms over your lower abdomen. This is bamboo in the breeze. So eyes are open or closed, but this is the practice of allowing. Allow your body to drift around. And just the way you instinctively know how to come back to balance. Look for that quality of looseness in your body, as well as feeling stable through your feet and your legs. And then we'll let that go. We'll bring the wrists up as we step out, coming back to shoulder width apart or a little wider, and then float your hands down. Turn your palms toward each other. We're going to shift into the Tai Chi 5, but we're going to really increase our awareness of our hands. Rub, lap, and another little rub, and then engage with your hands. So hold them comfortably, but I'd like you to, with your gaze, with all your mental attention, focus on the space between your hands. And if you feel anything, a hum, a buzz, a glow, a pulsation, sometimes it's heat or cool, but that is your chi. So there's universal chi that's everywhere around us. And then we also have our own unique chi, our own unique energy signature. And in Tai Chi, we are moving, cultivating our own energy as well as interacting with the energy of the environment. And the hands are largely how we are doing that, in addition to the breath. So we're going to just roll the ball a couple of times here. So you can just maintain gentle awareness of the space between the hands as you start to move. Right? So that will be the challenge. You start to move, the rolling top to bottom. And then you can pulse the ball, pulsing the edges of a sphere. Good. We're going to take this ball and move through some movements with it. We're going to shift over to the left hip. And we're going to take the left palm on top and the right palm on the bottom. So maintaining the shape of a ball. And this flow, we're just going to be turning from left to right over and over again, moving the hands gently. And you don't need to be precise. You just need to be here. So as we go from here, we start to turn to face the front of our space. The bottom hand, the right hand, starts to rise. Keep turning. And by the time you get over toward the right, the hands reform a chi ball with the right hand on top and the left hand on the bottom. And then as we start to turn left, the left hand rises, the right hand follows. By the time we're over to the left hip, the hands reform the chi ball. And that is the first of our 5 flow. This is called harmonizing yin and yang. So earth and sky, light and dark, sacred masculine and feminine, all these complementary opposites we're seeking to balance. So you can stay with this a little bit and just try to get the hang of it without over efforting. Your form does not need to look identical to mine. We're really engaged with the hand. If you wanted to breathe in as you travel around and breathe out when you reform the ball, that's how I like to do it. Nice long inhale, traveling. Just feel what happens when the hands turn back toward each other. So we stay with this for another minute or two or so. And so you can start to relax with it. You could certainly, give your head a little lean one direction or the other. You can do a weight transfer. So when your hands are over toward the right, you could have more weight in your right foot, even lift the left heel. Not necessary, but you can. And then you can travel toward the left, weight in the left foot, lift your right foot. You're going to stay in that flow. So think of chi as your dance partner. Feel that there's space between your fingers so that you might have more surface area even to accumulate this life-giving chi. Stay relaxed, present, fluid. Cultivating our chi, we're refining it, we're circulating it. And the body knows how to store it. Energy bank account. Storing up energy. These are very watery practices, very, very fluid. So even bring you to mind the image of flowing water. When I get the chance, I like to practice next to a stream. Just go with that flow of water. Yourself a few more rounds. Harmonizing. In, yang. Get lost in thought. Just come back and note, pay attention to your hands and feet. Maybe a nice sighing breath would help bring you back. Do one more pass in each direction. You'll notice that some people I keep my hands in close to my body only because my shoulders get easily aggravated. But some people like to be kind of way out in front of them with the chi. That's totally cool too. So we're going to reform the chi ball over to the left. And if you need to shake something out or just take a break, please do so. From here, we're going to roll the ball halfway. So now the right hand's on top, the left hand is on the bottom. This is brush knee, send chi. The top hand comes down on a diagonal for the right knee, thus the brush knee wording. Rotate, continue rotating. With the left hand, you're sending chi. And the left hand fades down, the right hand rises, and you do the same thing traveling the other way. Left hand brushes knee, right hand sends chi. Right hand fades, left hand rises. Rotate through center, right hand brushes right knee, left hand sends chi. We'll keep our breath nice and slow and deep so that our breathing movement can match that breath. The right hand brushes knee, left hand sends the chi. You can add that weight shifting if you like that. It just definitely adds complexity. Right hand fades, left hand rises. When you come over to that side, just notice that the hands, the chi-filled hands kind of pass each other. So like when the right hand fades, the left hand comes up, they've just kind of passed each other. Rotate around. When the left hand fades, the right hand rises, the chi of the hands interacts. So if you are weight shifting and that feels like not too complex, you could certainly walk in place. Right hand fades, right foot lifts, and then you step and send chi. Brush knees. One more pass in each direction. When you start to face back toward front, bring your arms into a cross. Kind of cross at the wrist, let's say, in front of the chest. So this is a protection cross, just kind of sealing in to keep accumulating energy. We're pausing, assimilating it, really receiving it. And here's just a little cross of protection over the energy of the heart. Feel the contrast of stillness to movement. And then cutting through to clarity. So the hands pivot away, the elbows do remain bent, and the hands, we start to think of them as two blades, like sword blades or knife blades. We're going to be moving forward and back in a channel like this time. I'm going to bring the left hand back and the right hand forward. Okay. With the fingertips generally pointing upwards, so like two knives. And then we come this way. Look forward, send your left hand out any amount and pull your right thumb back behind your head. You're going to go forward and back like this. You're going to modify it to make sure it works for your body. And just start to find a flow like this. And it's just worth contemplating the name of the move, cutting through to clarity. Sometimes our vision gets a little muddy or clouded. We really need that clarity. We need to know where we're going and why. Asking for wisdom how to get there. And cutting through illusion. Maybe that illusion that we're each separate. And the truth is we're all connected and part of this whole. You might just have a personal decision that you need to make, and you need some clarity about it. Couple more passes. Cutting through to clarity. Not wasting our energy on things that we can't change. Being relaxed and focused. Returning to this protection cross. Relax your shoulder. Settle your breath down into your lower abdomen. Sink your weight down into your feet. Envision the crown of your head open to wisdom, inspiration. Your body nourished by the ground underneath you. Arms relaxed by the side. Just give a little bounce if you've got anything stiff or accumulating any tension, especially if this is a new activity. The shoulders might be like, what's going on? Number 4 move is cloud hands. So we're going to start off the left hip. You're going to bring your top hand, your right hand, to face your chest. And your bottom hand relaxed faces the ground. And we're going to rotate as we have been from right to left. And then the hands switch. Where the right hand fades down, the left hand rises. Left palm faces you, fingers are relaxed and open, and turn toward the left. And that's our flow. Hands switch, just like clouds change in the sky, and they float through. So we're not moving quite as probably as slowly as a cloud seems to move, but that's the general idea. How relaxed and receptive can you be? How porous? How available to absorb healing chi of our environment? How at home can you be in this moment inside your body, in this beautiful place? Weight shifting is most welcome as long as it's not like a distraction from the meditation. This is why I was drawn to it. It's very meditative, but you still get to move. I'm not great at sitting still. A little bit of motion and a lot of awareness can really put you in touch. Loud. The vision is happening without having to be looking. Hearing is happening without having to be listening. Movement is happening with not much effort. Take another pass or two. Swimming in this ocean of chi. Meeting up in that protection cross. Pause. Think your attention. Relax your breath. And number 5, integrating yin and yang. We did something quite similar. We're going to reach to the ground, slow inhale, drawing the energy up through the feet into the body, pausing for a moment. And the next in-breath, reaching up, drawing down, sky energy. Earth and sky mingling in just this delightful balance. Good. Deep inhale, pulling in the resources. Exhale to receive, inhale to gather. Lots of attention remains in the hands. This time we've got the hands over, we'll do one more tracing of the channels, kind of sealing the energy in. The palms come to the top of the head, sliding around the skull. Your hands are broad. You're trying to cover as many square inches of the body as possible. Back down across the top of the shoulders. This time, bring the backs of your hands together as you come down through the heart space. Wrap around the ribs. Come into your back. Slide down. Low back, hips. Outside of the legs, cross the tops of your feet, up the inseam of the legs, resting with the hands over the lower dantian. Pause for a breath. And then moving your hands in the pattern that digestion flows. So come over to your right ribs, up across the top of your ribs, down the left side, and around the abdomen. So you're making a circle right around the pathway of how the intestines flow. And sealing the cauldron with your hands back over your lower abdomen, stepping your feet in together or more together. Come back to that bamboo in the breeze. Allow yourself to drift. Sometimes drifting takes a little releasing of control, a little willingness to follow where things lead, a little trust. Feeling the chi. We're going to release that standing part of our practice, get our blankets out or a seat if you're at home. And you have it. So the choice is yours if you want to sit or just lay down, like as in Shavasana in a yoga class. So whatever is going to help you integrate, that's the main point, is how to give yourselves a little more time to digest and absorb this chi. Right? So some are going to recline, some are not. So if you are seated, just come back to that image of the lotus. And I guess if you're reclining, you're a lotus on its back. Let's return to that image. Feeling like from your sitting bones, if you're seated, heading down with the roots into the mud. It might sit at the forefront of your mind, kind of what your life's mud has been. I'm not asking you to dig it up, but maybe it sits right there. Maybe you just know. And then just that gentle, that imagery of from the mud, the sprout rises. You just remain in touch with your spine as the stem of the lotus. And it starts to just unfold as it gets up toward the heart. And by the time it's to the crown of the head, it's that big, beautiful pink blossom. And the lilies or the lotuses are in bloom around here. You can see them in the ponds. And just allow your face to relax into a little smile. Maybe a smile of gratitude for the times that were muddy for you. And you know that they produced growth, they produced beauty in the form of compassion and wisdom. Feel any way that you are at home in this moment in your body. The way that you feel open to nature right now, whether you're outdoors or inside gazing out a window. An awareness of the three treasures: body, mind, and breath, all united. Allow the mind to rest down into the heart, and the heart down into the body. Very well-known words by Buddhist Zen teacher Thich Nhat Hanh. Most people are afraid of suffering, but suffering is a kind of mud to help the lotus flower of happiness to grow. There can be no lotus flower without the mud. Just call you into just a few breaths of gratitude for whatever has been your teacher in life, people, circumstances, challenges. And allow yourself just to recognize the beauty of who you are has grown out of all of that. When you're ready, you can kind of reconnect with your sense of vision. If your eyes have been closed, you can open your eyes. Greet whatever you see with a smile, whether it's a spot of sunshine, a flower, blade of grass. And if you're reclining, you can bring yourself up to a seat. Just gonna form a little circle. So you can rise to standing. You can come gather up around me. You feel comfortable with that. Yeah, just right around here. Make a circle. Hear that horse? Yeah. Horses. All right, so let's look around and just greet one another with a glance or a nod. Greeting those online with us as well. And then let's end with a really symbolic hand gesture called a mudra. So with your right hand, make a fist. And that's the symbol of strength and power. And the left hand is an open, soft palm. So this could be our yin side, our gentle side. I'm going to wrap the gentle around the strong. You made your own little yin yang symbol with your hands. And just gaze down for a moment as you draw this right up towards your heart. Maybe just join me in the intention today that we would walk in this ever changing dance and balance of power and gentleness, our strength and our suppleness. Be strong and flexible as needed. Just bowing to the practice and to each other. Bow to the center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.